What's up, party people? I want you to get psyched for another episode of the Swing Juice Sports Drop. Show me how excited you are. The hero we need and deserve. Do what you got to do to get fired up for today's episode.
Of this improved run defense, he and a lot of players on this field tonight have a lot.
Ripping salts on the sideline for the Swing Juice Sports Drop. Today we're going to talk Belichick visiting Bama, Brady sacking Arians, the Slap-termath at the Oscars. Dakota thinks the Celtics are Dunsky. Plus, your favorite Bruce Willis movie, Red Sox season predictions, final four scores, sure to go awry, and so much more. It's all coming up today with Fitzy and Dakota, two smartasses from the South Shore, on the Swing Juice Sports Drop theme song. What's going on, everybody? Your old pal Nick Fitzy Stevens here alongside my guy from swingjuice.com, your favorite golf and baseball lifestyle apparel brand, the one and only from my hometown as well, Braintree, Mass, king of the South Shore himself, the guy who brings the boom sauce to the bar pizza, Steve Dakota Happas. What up, dog?
So I think, I can't rap, like I have rapped or attempted to rap in the past, and that open music, I'm wondering if we could like mix it up, have like a Dre beat underneath it, and I could actually rap an intro, right?
Hold on one second. Actually, someone wants to weigh in on that idea.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Good old Cam.
It's going to be a no from me, dog. I wouldn't mind putting some lyrics to the stuff music. You really think that you can rap out the theme song to that?
Are you not into rap music?
On occasion, I'll dabble with the hip hop myself.
No,
would I put rap, hip hop, or R&B at the top of the playlist? Like, I'll listen to anything. I don't have a particular genre that I say is my favorite, but like, dude, I grew up, growing up on the South Shore, like I was all, heavy metal, hard rock. Like I was like right in the prime of like the Warrant, Whitesnake, GNR, Metallica, like Def Leppard. Are you kidding me? Like I lived and died for pyromania and hysteria.
Well, what was it? Midlife on the chat channel says the theme song sounds like 70s porn. So, I mean, are you trying to tell me something, Fitzy? Right?
Yes, exactly. People get turned on by your Dexcom going off, reminding you that you need a little sugar for the.
Look at it, already went off once, and that's why I had to grab the Gatorade. I swear, we need to reach out to Dexcom for that. I got contacts at Dexcom. They could become a co-sponsor.
I mean, as if we already have a presenting sponsor. Once again, the Sports Drop today brought to you by our friends at swingjuice.com, your number one choice for golf and baseball lifestyle apparel. Don't forget to use, that's right, we come fully prepared. Don't forget, for Swing Juice Sports Drop viewers, promo code Dakota40 gets you 40% off your purchase.
You're doing that.
Easily my favorite right from the get-go here. Our pal Jesse Ebner checks in, help from Israel.
Well, he's not lying.
Actually, it was more hello. No, I know. Anyone could use it. Anyone could use a little love on that halfway around. Thank you for watching, Jesse. Of course, people are watching live on YouTube. They're watching live on my Facebook as well as Dakota's. And if you guys want to participate in the conversation, if you see us on your Twitter feed, jump on over to the Fitzy YouTube, jump on over to the Fitzy fan page, come on board, and then we can show you guys in the comment section, like David O'Gara, Pyromania was classic. DL. What does DL stand for there?
On the down low?
Down low, don't lie.
I think it's the down low. It's on the DL.
Is that the down low on the DL?
Well, maybe not in this in that context. But DL means the down low. Like, hey, keep it on the down low.
Like on the DL, yes. No, I'm tragically I'm powerfully unhip, but at the same time, I'm not that bad.
because the DL.
Robert Lazar on Facebook. Let's go.
Yep. Because MLB removed the DL, and now it's not the disabled list anymore because I guess it wasn't politically correct. So I think they changed the discern. It's not the disabled list anymore. Major League Baseball.
No, I know it went from DL to IL, and I think the IL is ridiculous. But are you serious that they did that because too many people used the DL?
Yeah, because they didn't. It was making fun of disabled people, so that's why they changed the word. This is what happened.
Stop it!
I'm telling you.
Stop it! What's up, Matt Welch on Facebook? Def Leppard, classic. Joe Soares, listen, I'm not. I'm gonna throw this out there. Let's throw this out there right before we get to the meat of the show today. Joe Soares watching live on Facebook. What up, Joe? High and Dry is the best Def Leppard album.
Can I say something? So you know how we kind of outed myself in not seeing movies that like everybody has seen, and they can't.
Damn shame.
I may only could name one Def Leppard song, maybe, or.
All right, that's enough. All right, I'm muting Dakota. I'm sending him to timeout corner for a minute. He can only name one Def Leppard song. What sort of grade A certified Angus bullshit is this guy bringing to the show that bears his name and his sponsor? You can only name. Yeah, you just got PTI'd. You just got muted right there.
That's okay. That's
pathetic.
You could ask me questions of the titles of the song, and then I could say, yes, it's a Def Leppard song or not. But I can't honestly just come out and say, here are all Def Leppard songs. I can't do that. I can't.
All right. See, now I love this. See, this is what I love about, we do this because it's fun. I work in sports radio because I love the conversation and sharing, honest to God, Pat's passion and Boston sports rabid fandom. But I love going down the randomly discovered wormholes of, no, this is the best. No, here's my favorite. I'll fight you over this. Because now everyone is going off on what's their favorite Def Leppard song. All right, here we go. Animal. That's a classic. It's hard. Robert Lazar, it's hard to argue with Animal being an absolute classic. And I want, and I need. Maybe that was... Oh, for Christ's sakes, would you just please have a goddamn snack before the show?
I can't mute it. As I mentioned, if you guys were tuning in last week, I'm a type 1 diabetic. I have a wearable on my stomach, and it will go off. And phone's muted, but if my sugars get low, the Dexcom G6 app alerts me to get some Gatorade, because otherwise I might just I might do the real Cam Newton and slide back like this.
Exactly. You're bringing on the heartbreak with your lack of Def Leppard knowledge. Alex A says, bringing on the heartbreak. That's also a classic. Yeah. David O'Gara with Foolin'. There's a song on High and Dry called Switch 625. In case anyone doesn't know it, I'm going to have to grab it. And maybe I'll use that inappropriately and get kicked off the internet next week as our theme song. Awesome. Back in the 80s, when we were relevant and we felt the powers of our prime. I used to listen to that I was like an Eric Johnson, Stevie Vai, Joe Satriani. I loved all the guitar legends. Eddie Van Halen, obviously. Nuno Bettencourt. By the way, did you know this, Dakota?
What?
Nuno
what
Bettencourt, lead guitarist for Extreme. Remember Extreme? More Than Words? Come on, guy. That's it.
Listen, I'm not. I think. Listen, I think Fitzy.
He's a WEEI regular. He's actually called in, and I've chatted with Nuno.
Who is the guy from Extreme?
Yes, the guitarist. He called in.
He's a regular.
He's a P1 to WEEI. He called in and he said he liked listening to when I was driving the show with Andy Hart one day because we sounded like knowledgeable Pats fans who actually liked having reasonable, level-headed conversations. And we just chopped it up for 5 minutes. It was awesome. It was like, oh my God, my childhood, Nuno.
Yeah, somebody says I'm too young, and I'm a poor man's Van Noy. I look like Van Noy. Is that what it meant? I do. How do I look like Eric Van Noy? I mean, Eric Van Noy is a good-looking guy, so if I can be Van Noy.
Kyle Van Noy is a very handsome man.
Excuse me, Kyle Van Noy. There I go again with not even mispronunciation, just misremembering people's names.
I'm with Lisa B. Maybe she's friends with Sheila E., the percussionist from Sunday's Oscar show.
So Sheila E. I remember.
Okay, there you go. I mean, she seems to have. What was the song? She seems to have. What was it? What was that song? The Sheila E. song. Dun, 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 dun. Come on.
Well, somebody in the chat will tell you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because whatever Lisa, I say is going to be wrong.
Look it up, Lisa. She's watching live on YouTube. Thank you. All right. Let's get right to. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Let's get right to it. Oh, Alex,
What is it?
It's my pleasure to name your favorites right there. All right, let's get to the actual sports topics. Enough.
But what was it? What was this? What was the
Someone's
name of it?
gonna remember. Someone is gonna hit us up. Someone's gonna hit us up in the chat and remind me of the name of that Sheila E.
I don't know why
she
she's
played
embarrassed.
with Morris Day in the Time. She played with Prince. Anyway, we're 10 minutes into a sports live stream chat talk show.
Yeah.
Glamorous Life. Todd Reeves, you are the winner of today's free Fitzy GFY koozie. Thank you very much.
Did last week's winner get the free GFY Fitzy koozie?
Yes, Pat McSweeney has a koozie in the mail coming to him, and I've got another one as well. Oh yeah, no, I'm good like that.
You got a whole fulfillment operation down there, huh?
I do. Are you kidding me? I got T-shirts in the closet. Yeah, unlike yourself, you just like to hang the merch. I actually give it away because I'm a man of the people. All right, let's get right to it. Topic number 1 on today's program. Last night, out of the blue, shocker. Nobody saw this. No, I'm being sarcastic.
Oh, okay. See, that's the comedian in you, you know. You sounded sincere, nobody believed it.
That's the whole idea, is to hide it and not have to actually telegraph what you're doing. Yes, thank you, Jeffrey Stenberg, watching on YouTube. Extreme, and now Sheila E. Fitzy showing his age. I have now cousin Chris wants a shirt. Fine, whatever. Chris,
see, they don't. They just want shirts. Okay? Hey, I have a question for you. You can see the chat, people? I can see them chat. Can they see each other's chat?
I think so. I think usually they can see the chat on whatever social media app they're watching on. So, like I said, you can't be in the chat on Twitter, but if you're watching on either of our Facebooks or on YouTube, there's a little running chat box that shows up.
But I don't know if I think you have to make it public so they can see the other chats, because you like to display somebody's chat and take it to the live video. But I don't know if they can see. Maybe they can tell us. Oh, they're saying yes now. Yeah, they're in the comments. All right, so they see it.
Good.
All right, that's great. Can you hear me? Is this thing on? Okay.
Oh my God. See, Heidi Kleinberg says she loves her GFY koozie. All right.
Excellent.
Love me a little GFY as well. All right. Dan Gillette says it best. Brady fired Arians. The least surprising news of the wildest offseason in maybe NFL history. Bruce Arians last night announces that he's ascending, if you will, stepping down from head coach to ascend to the front office in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers organization, citing a desire to go out on top and focus more on his health and maybe drink a little bit less as his reasons for uncoupling from the coaching position in the Tampa Bay organization. Within 15 effing minutes of Peter King breaking the news, Tom Brady has a 700-word magnum opus saying how much he loves and appreciates BA for all they were able to accomplish together. It should have just read, bye-bye, good riddance. Don't let the doll hit you with the good Lord split you. Why does everyone think Tom Brady decided to grab the kids? Hey, kids, pack a day bag. Dad's taking you over to see Harry Kane and Ronaldo play football. I mean, soccer, whatever we call it. Because he got on a plane with the Glazers and said, okay, you won't let me go to Miami. The whole world knows that's what I'm trying to do. So if I'm coming back to Tampa, here are the demands. Boom sauce. It happens.
Yeah, I mean, did he thank you to BA? Did he thank Bill Belichick in there as well, or did he leave all Patriot Nation out?
Once again, left Pats fans out. That son of a bitch.
Gotta be mean something.
Son of a bitch, Tom. And now let's reverse engineer the whole thing. Let's do a little detective work. Let's Batman it up. Why did Brady leave Patriots Nation out of his initial retirement? Want to know why? Quite simply because he wanted to love up on Tampa so that they would be like, we'll go ahead and we'll grant Tom his wish. We'll do whatever he wants. We'll send him to San Francisco. We'll ship him off to Miami.
No.
Exactly.
I had to bring back the no button.
Yeah,
bring in the props.
Jeffrey Haytu, you speak no lies detected. No! Brady is now the head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Defensive coordinator Todd Bowles, who called the zero blitz, which left a safety in one-on-one coverage against Cooper Kupp, which cost them the divisional game, takes over, former head coach of the Jets. He gets a 5-year deal. So it's Leftwich. Bowles is just like your defensive coordinator, head coach figurehead. This is Brady and Leftwich's team this year. Make no effing bones about it.
So I have a question. I think we both agree that this was already in the works, right?
Come on.
Okay. So if
the
that
whole
was
time, it's all calculated. Will Smith is full
so
of shit.
Follow
Tom
me
Brady
here for a
has been
second.
pulling all the strings.
So follow me here, otherwise I'm going to slap you. Okay? Don't you think it would have been better for us, Story, that if they announced that BA was stepping down a lot earlier, so Josh McDaniels could have went to Tampa and be the head coach? Like, how did that not happen? Like, if everybody knew about this, does that mean that Brady maybe didn't want Josh to be the head coach?
I don't think Brady wanted Josh to be the head coach of the Buccaneers. No, he wants 100. Like, I'm not saying that he's a complete authoritarian, but I think he realizes that he jibes with Leftwich. Leftwich wants to get a shine on him to go to an organization where he can be the head coach and call the shots someday soon. So he gets a little more Brady sauce on him this year. Seems to have made the right choice not going to the Jaguars, where they wouldn't let him have his own personnel guy, because they just spent a record surpassing the Patriots in free agency, giving an effing bag to, of all people, slot receiver Christian Kirk to be the new number one target, the Aguilar 2.0 for Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville. This plays out. Brady gets to get after it one more time on his terms for an 8th Super Bowl. Todd Bowles will just run the defense and be a little bit of a patsy, no pun intended. And he and Leftwich work together. Then Leftwich goes on to coach somewhere else next year. Clean break.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He was so done, so finito with Bruce Arians. Yeah, it's bad for business. I run the shop. Tom Brady, he answers to me. I sound like the guy. I sound like Gary Oldman in True Romance. Bruce Arians. So blah, blah, blah.
This might have been discussed before, but you Patriot Nation people, you know, we're Patriot Nation, but
I was going to say, don't little game us right there, okay? It's all we're in this together, motherfucker.
I'm just saying,
right?
this doesn't speak for all of Patriot Nation, but the narrative was that Brady flipped us the finger on his retirement out the door. And can we all just step back and realize that that was a bunch of fake news? Okay, he didn't retire. He didn't flip the Patriots fans the finger because he never intended to retire. So he didn't need to thank the Patriots. He didn't need to thank Fitzy.
Exactly.
Okay.
Even though I carried his water, named a friggin' kid after him,
right,
and pledged my eternal fealty to him. Yeah. No, he didn't, because it wasn't his ultimate retirement. He covered his ass in tracks by saying Belichick was the greatest coach, love you, Pats Nation, and all that afterwards, because the brushback and the PR flack was borderline Oscars bad Sunday night for team best actor. But yeah, that's exactly why that happened.
Yeah.
Danson Hansen, love your handle, by the way, watching on Facebook. Dakota.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this statement? So I've been sticking up for him for 20 years.
Danson has, or you
Danson
have?
Hansen. No, Danson Hansen says, I've been sticking up for him for 20 years and finally realized he's really the person everyone said he was. It sucks. Too hot to take, or you feel like there's some truth in there?
What is she even saying? Brady is who he is. He hasn't. I don't think he's anything different. He was under the Patriot way, and Bill Belichick had a muzzle on him and couldn't be everything that Brady wanted to be. I have no hate versus Tom Brady. The hate should come that Bill Belichick, Kraft, and Tom Brady couldn't figure it out how to stay together. Okay?
Right.
That's what my hate is. I have no hate for Tom Brady whatsoever. No. Definitely no.
And having hate for Brady is such it's such misguided, emotionally inappropriate aggravation. Like, it's a worse. There are so many better deserving places to send your anger and vitriol. You should be appreciative of everything Brady did. Did it end well? No. Did it get awkward for a while? Absolutely. And do I still miss him like a lot of other people do? Of course. But yes, Tom Brady, like, he tells you what did he say on LeBron's show, The Shop? Like 90% of what he says is bullshit or it's all lies. Like, yes, there's a certain degree when you're that much of a successful psychopath that you're going to be calm, cold, collected, and calculating. I like this tweet, by the way, earlier. Sorry, Dakota, real quick.
That's okay.
Henry McKenna, who does a great job for USA Today covering the Patriots. His quote earlier, his tweet from 10 o'clock this morning. Hot take, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick really miss each other. Robert Kraft is applying pressure on Belichick for an expensive rebuild. Brady seems to have staged a coup in Tampa. 100% with this. BB and TB will never reunite, but damn, they were a terrific match, even maybe especially when their egos clashed. Again, 100%. All about. I thought that's exactly how it all shakes down. And calling it a bit of a coup in Tampa, I don't disagree with that.
100% coup. I mean, it happens all the time. Anyways, like, I have no issues with it. I'd rather see Tom Brady back in the NFL than see Bruce Arians coach on the sideline. Screw Bruce Arians, right? Tom Brady's way more important to the league than BA, you know? So that's just the way I feel.
Bruce, a good offensive coordinator, got his Super Bowl. At this point now, like,
wait a minute, is he? Wait a minute, hold on a second. He's a good offensive coordinator. BA is.
Oh, absolutely.
You think so?
Like, did you ever like the stats on Bruce Arians?
Jameis Winston stats?
It's not his fault that Jameis Winston, famous Jameis, threw the ball more often to the other team than he did to his own team.
Well,
but everyone, Ben Roethlisberger, Carson Palmer, even famous Jameis and Tom Brady, they all posted career stats, especially in their second year in a Bruce Arians offense.
Yeah, I don't know. We're talking about Hall of Fame quarterbacks you're naming. Show me Bruce Arians with Mac Jones in his rookie year or something. You know, give me something like that Bruce Arians took someone that was uncertain, okay, and then actually performed. That wasn't a Hall of Famer. So I don't know.
I think he's a good quality offensive not an offensive coordinator does not always a great head coach make. Insert 500 recent examples of offensive coordinators flaming out as head coaches.
Yeah, and speaking of that, and I think we talked about this last week, you know, with Judge coming back, right, Patricia coming back, and people beating them up for these coaching hires. Right. Settle down, the Patriots. Settle down, okay? The way I look at it is, Matt Patricia, and I don't know why they beat him up, just because his defense was a bend that don't break. I like Matt Patricia. The guy is smart, right? Joe Judge, he got hired to be the coach of the New York Giants. Now, granted, he may have not been a good head coach, but you're not going to sit here and tell me that Joe Judge isn't a good football coach and can't isolate himself to cover a lane or two on the Patriots and enhance the team. This is what I hate, this narrative. Because they failed as a head coach, they come back here, oh, that's a bunch of trash. What's Belichick doing? Give it a rest. I hate that. These guys were qualified enough to be head coaches, but they failed. Coming back to the Patriots is a win. Their biggest loss, and I say it all the time, is Scarnecchia. That guy was the glue on the offensive line, and that is their biggest weakness. So I don't care who the F it is. Find me a talented offensive line coach that is as good as Scarnecchia. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, you heard Trent Brown on Pardon My Take this week talking about how Dante Scarnecchia is like the greatest influence on his life and why he loved playing for the man that led him to love playing for Belichick and the Patriots. They let him do his thing, but it's also a no-nonsense operation. And the fact that Scarnecchia was like the man who was willing to like not accept anything but the best from Big Bad Trent Brown, who blocks two things, people and the sun, and always have his back and be like that father figure, a disciplinarian-oriented father figure. That made that relationship special. And look what Trent Brown does when he plays for the Pats. And the stats always back it up in terms of pass protection, and they average 1.5 yards more whenever Trent Brown's in a game. Great point by Patrick Seeley watching live on YouTube. Matt Nagy was Patrick Mahomes' quarterback coach. No one talks about that. He sucked out loud and on Rye as the head coach ultimately of the Chicago Bears. So,
well, he also didn't have a quarterback for the Chicago Bears. I mean, like, a lot of it has to do.
He went from Trubisky to Dalton to it was the Trubisky songs.
Here's the way I look at it, right? Mm-hmm. There's all this Belichick, Brady, who is the difference? Belichick is by far one of the best head coaches of all time. Tom Brady is by far the best quarterback of all time. Now, if Tom Brady was without Bill Belichick, Tom Brady may have won 3 or 4 Super Bowls. If Bill Belichick was without Tom Brady, he may win 3 or 4 Super Bowls. But when you you don't know that, okay? You don't know that. But when you put two great Hall of Fame players and coaches together, that's how you get 9, 10 Super Bowl appearances, 6 and 3. That's the ultimate storm. Belichick had everything to do, just like Tom Brady, of getting to that many Super Bowls. It wasn't one, it was the both. It was the combination. It's like pitcher and catcher. That's it.
Exactly. I love what Bill Belichick said this week at the owners' meetings. I love Robert Kraft coming out, speaking like a fan, saying he's frustrated by the fact that they haven't won a playoff game in 3 years. Good for him. He's the owner. He's super successful. He still cares like the rest of us. I love that complacency titles and riches haven't begat complacency with Robert Kraft, and that he still cares, especially when he, owns his team, however many years the man has left, God bless him, and doesn't want to see his funds or his time misused. And I like what Patrick Seeley, watching on YouTube, has to say. No playoff wins in 3 years, but still 2 playoff appearances. Oh, let's fire Bill now. People are so knee-jerk, overreactionary, and dumb about this shit. It's ridiculous. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
One more Pats thing real quick. Dakota, how did you like this week's big signing, which I thought was a steal for the Patriots as this defense undergoes a little bit of an evolution? Sergei Gushkov says, watching live on the YouTubes, what do you guys think about Peppers? He's my favorite player from Wolverines of that period. So happy he's with the Pats now. Piece by piece, Bill is collecting my favorite Michigan defenders. Well, didn't necessarily work out for Winovich, who got sent off to Cleveland. But
Fitzy, as I mentioned, I think a month ago, and you were about the secondary, I said that the Patriots would end up playing more zone because Belichick was going to be ahead of the curve in knowing that zone is able to stop those mobile quarterbacks. Man on man is not effective against a scrambling quarterback because your back is to the quarterback when you're chasing in a man. You have to play more zone. Football is going more to the mobile quarterbacks. They're there, and who they're going to have to face. Josh Allen, Tua, who knows what we're going to
Zach Wilson
Mahomes,
can run. Dude, every quarterback
Justin Herbert, you have to. So this zone, they're just shuffling the deck on secondary to make sure. And that's why they brought back McCourty. Right? Now you got a stabilizer back there. You got Adrian Phillips. The secondary is going to be fine. You know why? Because Bill Belichick's secondary. His secondaries are always fine. Maybe he had 1 or 2 bad secondaries in 20-some-odd years. So give him a little bit of credit. What he's doing on the secondary side will be fine.
I'll be able to send one of my kids to college with the hey, Kyle Arrington, turn around jar full of quarters and dollars that I collected a decade ago. There were plenty of times the secondary was an issue, but he's a defense-first guy, obviously. He's in the Hall of Fame for his game plans. Going zone makes so much more sense. Yeah, you're going to give up small yards, and it's going to be tougher to get the ball down the field. We are revisiting bend but don't break, but in a new way. I'm going to yes-and your point a little bit, because now the whole entire idea of flooding the field with, look what the Bengals were able to do, frustrating Mahomes in the second half of the AFC Championship. 3 guys that can get home on a pass rush when you can frustrate the quarterback for 5 seconds or more, and then having speedy linebackers, safeties, some corner hybrids out there. You can match up to these guys and not give them the big breaks and the long passes that they want. If you've got McCourty, Phillips, Duggar, Peppers out there, a couple of fundamentally sound
Malcolm Butler.
Like Malcolm Butler, John Jones. You put Mac Wilson and Juwan Bentley in, and then you give me 3 guys up front that can get home after a couple of seconds. I'll take my chances. I'm not saying that they're going to win every game or that they're going to be the Steel Curtain 2.0, but Belichick is figuring out a way to evolve the defense to counter what's going on with these spread attack defenses with quarterbacks that are faster than their own friggin' tight ends.
And you know how you do that? Much like the NBA went with positionless team defense.
Yep.
The Patriots will veer into positionless defense because that's the one
someone
way.
Is a follower of Jonathan Jones on Twitter.
Well, you know how I feel about Jonathan Jones. Him getting hurt cost us the Super Bowl. I brought that up in point. Remember, he got hurt in the AFC Championship game, broke his leg, and that cost us the Super Bowl.
That's right.
Jonathan Jones was the glue of that secondary. He was the third.
As Gilmore was emerging and becoming beyond excellent. That great play against D.D. Westbrook. Yeah. Yep. No, John Jones getting hurt. Forget about Butler being benched. John Jones.
Yeah, it was John Jones not being available when he went down. I think it was a fade patent in the corner of the end zone, and he went down. And I'm like, people don't realize how valuable Jonathan Jones was.
100%.
And it reared its head. So positionless. I want to go. So that means kind of like your linebackers and your secondary kind of have to be interchangeable. Walk around. So when Brady, don't forget Brady, he didn't like this whole you could have any number that you want on the team, on the defense. You know why? Because the way the NFL looks at players when they get ready to prepare, they're going, all right, he's 55, watch 44 over there, watch 32. Right. because you know who the Mike is, etc. So the positionless defense, anybody can have any number. That's where it's going. And Bill B, Jonathan Jones, whatever, be ahead of the curve. Be ahead of the curve. Don't forget, when we had Aaron Hernandez and Rob Gronkowski, everybody was going, what is he doing with these two tight ends? And he changed the game with hybrid tight ends that became more pass catches than anything else.
Speaking of evolving the time for a sip. Speaking of evolving the Patriots' offense and defensive schemes, and the offensive coordinator of the 2011 New England Patriots offense, one of everyone's all-time favorites because Prime Gronk was an absolute destroyer of defenses and worlds. Yesterday, Bill Belichick made his way down for his annual visit to say Hail Saban at Alabama, his favorite talent factory when it comes to the draft, and said hello to his old offensive coordinator, now the offensive coordinator at Alabama. He was accompanied by his brain trust, Matt Groh and Matt Patricia. And before we get into a couple quick nuggets on the Bama Pro Day, we've got an exclusive video of Belichick and Patricia yesterday at the Alabama Pro Day. Our microphones were actually able to pick up a conversation between Patricia, Belichick, Bill O'Brien, and company. So take a look.
Yep.
Bill, I don't know if you saw this, but Bruce Arians retired. Took a job in the front office, decided to focus on his health.
Yeah, wow, what a shocker. Arians retires right after Brady unretires? Huh. Didn't see that coming.
Todd Bowles, defensive coordinator, took over.
If you suggest a defensive coordinator taking over for me again, I'll slap you like Will Smith at the Oscars. There's the guy that used to work for me that I wish would work for me again.
I'm Mike McCarthy.
Oh, hey, Mike, nice to see you again. Really admire what you've been able to not do in Dallas with all that talent.
Mike McCarthy says thank you. Oh, this is getting awkward.
That's just the effect I have. So, hey, here we are. Bunch of dudes. Talking.
Exclusive audio. I'm telling you, the mics we have planted across the country that is able to get us this kind of exclusive content that we bring you on the Sports Drop, man, I'm telling you, we're top shelf.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm Mike McCarthy. So obviously Belichick
just don't get in trouble like that doctor did on Newbury Street yesterday.
So
did you hear about that?
No, I didn't. What was that?
So there was a doctor that was outside one of the stores on Newbury Street, I think it was yesterday, and he placed his phone and his camera face up out of his backpack, and all the people that were leaving the store had to jump over it, and he was getting videos of girls up their skirt, and all the police, everything arrested him.
What the hell?
Yes, it was all over the news today. So it was on Newbury Street. I forget the name of the store. So
friggin' world full of creeps. Jimmy Jensen. Mike McCarthy likes this. What a bozo that guy is. No. Real quick, so Belichick obviously likes to dip his draft pen in the inkwell at Alabama. Like I said, best buddies. He's broskies with Saban. Last couple of years, he's drafted Anthony Jennings. We'll see if the jury's still out, but that's not looking great. Damian Harris, stud. Last year at Barmore, stud. Mac Jones doesn't even have a great pro day yet. Belichick takes him 15th overall. He loves going where he knows the coach. He can get a reliable scouting report. And they were down there yesterday clocking a bunch of 40s and seeing all these guys, except for Jamison Williams, the wide receiver, who's been working out on the side and seems to be ahead of schedule of his ACL reconstructive surgery, which is great. I want to show you, if you didn't see, this is actually real video, no fitsifying this one. If you didn't see, Slade Bolden, the slot receiver, a lot of people have comped to the Pats, or rather mocked to the Pats in the later rounds, put on a nice little catch and run display yesterday. I love this kid, and I got some facts that'll back up why they should take a chance on him. Take a look. Now that's a catch. Now that's a catch.
Hey, did you put Mac Jones's face on that guy? Like, the jib jab, put the head on? Show the video. It looked like Mac Jones.
Did I rotoscope it? No, hold on. But they were like best buddies. Like, Mac Jones was best buddies with everyone. Here it is.
I'm just saying, it looked like Mac Jones.
Some people said there's a reason why he had to dive, because the guy's too slow and didn't have a great 40 time. I'll beg to differ as to why that won't impact his NFL career. Hold on, here it is again. Yeah, he does look. He looks McCorkle-ish.
No, plus with the head, like on the jib jab, and the head turns this way, like it doesn't. It's not a smooth turn.
Right.
So, anyways, you know what? He's not in pads. Okay, N'Keal. We could probably go find N'Keal Harry doing the same thing. Okay, and then we got to draft him. Do that in pads.
Hush. You never mention that name again on the show.
N'Keal Harry. It's like Janu, okay?
That's if you call him N'Keal, like you call I'll call him Janu Smith when he earns me pronouncing his name correctly. Until then, he's Janu, and from now on, I am doing N'Keal Harry.
N'Keal. That's I like this him. Yeah, and
like Rick. I'm calling him Rick N'Keal Harry. I'll bring some baseball into it.
It was the funniest thing over the during the playoffs after the Patriots got knocked out. I tweeted out that I was sitting next to a guy at a bar, and it was N'Keal Harry, and he leans over to say me, I can do that after Jamar Chase was scoring all these touchdowns, and people on Twitter thought I was serious, that I was sitting with N'Keal Harry. I'm like, so then every week there was a big play by a receiver, I would post, hey, I'm sitting at a bar next to N'Keal Harry, and he leans over to me and says, hey, I can do that.
That was slowly becoming the oh, hey, Larry Fitzgerald was spotted at Logan Airport. Whenever the Patriots are making a move for someone, it's the infamous Larry Fitzgerald, that guy leaning on the Hertz counter. So listen, Slade Bolden, people are like, he's a natural fit for the Patriots, the next Hunter Renfrow, slot receiver. Mac Jones threw to him in college. They're best buddies or roommates or maybe both, whatever it was. And then he has a 4.66 combine time, running in cleats, on the sideline, no pads. You and I both think that's absurd that people base too much off of that. Let me just give you a couple of numbers. Ready?
Yep.
As far as other receivers that were okay that didn't have great 40 times, DeAndre Hopkins had a 4.57. Chris Carter, all he did was catch touchdowns. He had a 4.63. Anquan Bolden, a 4.71. Jerry Rice ran a 4.71, and Larry Fitzgerald ran a 4.63. So don't come at me saying why would you want to draft Slade Bolden, Fitzy? This guy sucks. He's too slow. He's never going to make an impact. I don't care about I'm not asking him to. He's not a go route runner. Can he twitch? Can he move? Does he know the playbook? Does he have chemistry and connection with your quarterback? Can he get open in short spaces with good hands? That is all I care about.
Yeah, I mean, the way I look at it, what was his shuttle run? Forget about the 40-yard sprint. It's about getting off the line, right, and getting in open spaces. That's all you need to do. You don't need to be fast to do that. I mean, Tom Brady is a Hall of Fame quarterback, and he has no foot speed. Okay, but he has great movement in the pocket, right? He has good presence, good agility, right? That's all you need. You need to understand. You need to read defenses. You need to be in timing with your quarterback. So whether it's a 4.6, 4.7 is immaterial in my book. For a slot receiver, anyway.
Hey, I love that. Dakota and I agree about something. Let's shake on it.
No, I wouldn't.
Wait, hold on. 2 times. Yeah.
That's my quarterback right there. Mac Jones had himself a week. Got love from Robert Kraft. Got love in the national media, and I think it gave away a check for either $10,000 or $100,000 to Boys and Girls Club in Brockton.
I think it was $100,000.
Yeah, man, that was great.
It was $100,000. That is good.
Again, all this sort of oh, Mac Jones, he's not going to be good enough. Patriots defense sucks. Pats will have no offense. What are they doing? Please pump the brakes. Neither Dakota or I are here for it.
Where's that slot receiver rated to go? What round?
Probably 5 to 7.
So
Slade
after
Bolden.
my guy. So my guy Calvin Austin from Memphis, who I want, he's somewhere late 3rd, 4th round. So what I think Belichick should do, take that 1st round pick this year, trade back. I want to trade back. I need more assets. I do. I need more assets.
Could not agree more. Trade back. Evan Lazar from CLNS Media had an awesome tweet where he did a quick little mock and had the Pats trade back, get a couple 2nd-round picks, and then by the end of the 2nd round, they had Khair Elam, the cornerback from Florida, who's really good. They would get John Mechie, the wide receiver from Alabama. Maybe he's no Calvin Austin to you, but he's pretty damn good.
John Amici?
Yes, John Ritchie, the old fullback from San Francisco. And who's it? Oh, Leo Chanel, the linebacker from Wisconsin. You can tap into a bunch of needs just by moving a little draft capital around.
Does he wear number 5?
John Mechie? Oh, Jesus Christ. My God. You know, my mother, God rest her soul, used to work for Chanel, and I can even hear her complaining in heaven right now.
Look who's calling me. Should I answer this? Should I answer
this?
Oh,
but yeah, of course you should. 100%.
All right. Hey, Butch. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me put you on speaker. All right. Hey, Butch, you're on with me and Fitzy. We're doing a live stream right now, and I saw that you called. So Fitz.
Butchie, how are you, guy? Butch Stearns, what's up, brother? How you doing?
I can't hear. Yeah, I know. Fitzy says hello. You're his guy. He says you owe him tons of pizza at the brew house, etc. So, but he can hear you.
Oh, whatever. Fitzy knows I love him. It's a mutual respect.
Oh, that's wow! Right. Look at that.
All right. Love. And and I'll see him on the golf course this spring with you.
Call me back.
Okay, sounds good, Butch. Bye.
All right, bye.
The one and only Butch Stearns, Fox 25's Butch Stearns. My God.
You know what you should do? We should give him a link and have him like zoom in.
Oh, I'd love. Let's have him.
We got to get more. We got to get some guests on.
Well, you and I are slowly just taking. We're just like we're not even like we're just barely out of dry dock, and like now we're like we're not in open water yet. We're just pulling. We're at taxiing speed. We're getting out there. We're gonna start booking guests, major celebrities. Oh yeah, I mean we're gonna fix everything. My goal is to make sure that we can end the North End restaurant crisis and inform as many Patriots fans as possible by the end of the spring.
Yeah. All right. That sounds good.
All right, we'll see. Speaking of
crises,
Speaking of crises, Dakota, you tweeted out before the show that you think the Celtics bubble has burst. That the Time Lord injury has stripped the Celtics of their mojo, took them obviously out of the number 1 seed. They've lost 2 games in a row. Monday night, everyone was on the bench, and they gave the bench warmers a chance to compete. Did a hell of a job. Yeah. Last night, though, that was a tough one. Bad refs, another Jaylen Brown craptastic fourth quarter.
Where were the bad refs when they were 20-4? They're the same refs, okay? So were there a few calls that maybe could have went the other way last night? Absolutely. But they're the same refs that were there when they went 20-4, okay? Robert Williams, and it's so funny because the real NBA guys, Celtics guys, talk, the one person, other than Tatum, that they could not afford to lose was Robert Williams. And if I was to tell you...
That's what I said. That's what I said, too.
So maybe it was you. Maybe I was having that conversation with you. Anyways.
I heard a lot of you can't lose Tatum, you can't lose Smart. I thought Time Lord was key. Yes.
So to me, since I'm very analytical, I like to look at stats that mean something to everyone else. And what that means is the NBA has a stat, okay, that's called PIE, P-I-E. It stands for Player Impact Estimate, okay? It's on the NBA site. It's advanced analytics. If you look back, and I think I did this and tweeted out a couple weeks ago, the last, I think, 10 or 14 MVPs in the league were either first or second in this Player Impact Estimate, okay?
Player Impact Estimate.
Yep. They are it's a huge indicator of every piece of analytical data of offense and defense as it relates to your scoring, helping others score, defense, helping others defense. It also allows for pace of play differences. So if somebody's in a run and shoot offense, it's not going to skew so much on offense, or not a run and shoot, but the old Westfall, I guess, Laker winning time basketball, get up and down the court. So to me, PIE is the one stat that I look at that tells me how good a player is looking at everything. Okay. And Jason Tatum, just to let you know, and I've tweeted out many things about Jason Tatum the first few months of this season that I'm getting some egg on my face about it, but that's okay because if he throws egg on my face, Celtics do better. He does better. Right. Jason Tatum was always in the middle of the pack, like 20th to 25th in this PIE rating. So when we all think he's this budding superstar, which he obviously has the talent and he could, his PIE still really didn't equate to that. So what I did was I looked at January 1st through yesterday, okay? And that's when the Celtics went on this
monstrous run. Yeah, basically
monstrous run.
Like January 3rd or January 6th. To
somewhere around there, okay? Yeah. For players that have played more than 25 minutes, I'm just taking guys that are playing a lot because there are players that can go in and out. Tatum is still around like 8th, which gets him into the top 10. He's right around like 17th, 18th. How does that compare to the MVPs? Well, Embiid, Jokic, those guys are all in the 21-22. So there's still a pretty big gap between, you know, the MVPs of the league and where Tatum has been, even though Tatum has played phenomenal. Best basketball he's ever played.
Yeah, he's bulked up. He looks like a grown-ass man.
100%. He's done a 180. But Robert Williams is the second highest rated player impact estimate on the Celtics, higher than Jaylen Brown. So when people say, well, you can't lose Jaylen, you can't lose this, Robert Williams is number 2, advanced analytics. So to me, you have your one guy in Tatum, and now you take the second best player out of the equation, who is super dynamic, rim protector. It's going to hurt. Jaylen Brown, and I like Jaylen, I'm a fan of Jaylen.
Freakishly athletic, still needs to figure out a way to finish in the fourth quarter, though.
You can still find a way to make up for Jaylen Brown's loss. You have no option to make up for Robert Williams, the Time Lord. You just can't. As good as a defensive player that overseas, and he won Defensive Player in the Year, Tice, it's just a different element on defense for the Celtics, and offensively in the way that they have to, you know, to stop the pick and roll and Robert Williams going to the hoop. So do they still have enough to win a first round playoff? Yes. But would they, if they lost in the first round, would I be surprised? Absolutely not.
Well, if they got the 1 seed and they had to go up against Brooklyn, if Brooklyn gets the play in and is the 8th seed, I think the Celtics would be goose, porked, and fucked. Yeah. If the Celtics end up like the 3 seed, end up playing maybe somebody like Cleveland,
they're better off in the 4th.
Charlotte,
no, they're better off in the 3-4 seed. Forget about the 1-2. Just lose position
you
yourself.
You get Time
there.
Lord back in the middle in the Eastern Conference semifinals. The guy, rim protector, busting up the pick and rolls, block shots, offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds. Like, he is, to me, like him and Marcus Smart, accepting his role, playing decent point, fewer heat checks, quality defense. That is what has helped put together Udoka's, you know, defense this year. That's helped lead the Celtics turnaround as well. I was talking to a sports writer from the New York Times in the neighborhood recently, and he said it's all about the defense. They finally figured out what Udoka was preaching, and he agreed. Time Lord was the linchpin to the whole operation. So I really, really, really hope that 4 to 5 week estimate of him being able to come back mid playoffs comes true. Otherwise, they might be screwed, dude.
If we'll see. They may not get out of the first round. So and you know what? God. And you know what? If you watch that game and you even watch Toronto, like Marcus Smart has played phenomenal. Like recently, Marcus Smart was back playing like individual basketball, and I hated the offense at the end of that Toronto game because Marcus Smart tried to become Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. You're not him, Marcus. Be Marcus Smart. Okay? He could have set up other people. Instead, he was forcing these shots and three-pointers. He turned the ball over a couple of times. Like, no, that's not the Marcus Smart that we saw during this run. And unfortunately, he thought that he had to step up. You know, he had 28 points, but you lost the game. Okay? Yeah, you can score. Okay? Marcus, I love you, but stay inside your shell. And last night, they started to do things. The complaining by Tatum, the bad shots, the turnovers.
Right. Getting out muscled at the rim like at the end of the game.
The same stuff that we saw the first couple of months, okay? And that's why I said the Celtics bubble has bursted because they were on once you put a hole, you know, that balloon, you put a pin in it, it's gone. And so you just hope you can win an NBA title before it can burst. And unfortunately, it's going to be some bad, hopefully not, but there's probably going to be some bad basketball because maybe their true colors have finally come out, you know, and they were just playing exceptional basketball for 3 months because of Rob Williams for the most part.
Going to be up to Coach Udoka to keep the Celtics in line and make sure that they don't revert to all those bad habits that not only left them a 500 team, but made them unwatchable. Their brand of basketball just plain wasn't fun early 100%. On the season. Oh, but speaking of fun, I noticed this little clip yesterday when I was watching the Red Sox spring training game. Our old pal Tom Caron, the great TC, doing a little sideline work. And look what he found. Look what he got his hands on.
Disney tour guide look always in fashion. I've been wearing that throughout. But this has been the look in the locker room that a lot of the players are wearing. Their T-shirts that say baseball isn't boring. They put together by former Red Sox pitcher Joe Kelly and our own contributor Rob Bradford. It's just a reminder that for all the talk of what needs to be improved and what needs to be fixed in the game, that it is still such a great game.
Well, what a nice plug you got.
Wasn't
a swing juice shirt.
I know.
How about that? Look at that.
There it is. Official.
Ain't that some shit?
Baseball isn't boring. Yeah. So Joe Kelly and Rob Bradford had reached out. They know that since we're a local company, I'm a local guy. They said, hey, let's start this initiative.
Man of the people.
Exactly. And and it's been fun. And there's been tons of Red Sox wearing it. L.A. Dodger. We just sent a shipment over to the Chicago White Sox clubhouse. Nice. Joe Kelly wanted it because Joe Kelly just signed over there. And, hey, there's a big movement going on, and baseball isn't boring. There are boring facets of the game, and those just need to kind of change. But in general, baseball isn't boring, and we're just trying to change that narrative. And the younger audience is loving it. I think, to me, I went to that Tampa Bay Red Sox playoff game, and I didn't care. It was a 4.5-hour game, and it was the most exciting game I've been to, one of them, during the playoffs last year.
Oh, so. Dude, I always enjoy I don't love watching baseball on TV, I got to be honest, only usually when it's like a big game that counts, or especially in the playoffs. I prefer the white noise, the background music of listening to Castigs. I love Will Fleming, Sean McDonough. Like, baseball on the radio when you're outside, yard work, grilling and chilling, just living life, like, it's such a comfort to me. I used to love falling asleep to baseball games. It's the best because, like, that's a narrator, your orators, your storytellers.
Swing and a pop up.
Yeah.
It's a swing and a pop up.
Swing and a pop up.
Do you remember? You got to find that clip.
Going to games is the best still.
I think EEI did it. They put a clip together about all the swing and a pop up, all the Joe Castiglione like swing and a pop ups, and it was hilarious. And I remember Johnny Valentin. That's all he used to. There's a swing and a pop up, and it was on Johnny Valentin all the time, with the bases loaded.
People are that was John the great John Valentin. People grousing in the comments. Stand there on the mound and delay the game. Get the game moving. Baseball is 9 innings too long. That T-shirt is a lie shirt. I mean, come on.
The big lie. The big lie. Another movie I've never seen.
There's the big steal and the big lie. Baseball is boring. No, it's not. Baseball.
You do a pretty good Trump, I think you could. You know what? I think you should take over for Alec Baldwin on SNL.
Alec Baldwin. Oh, by the way, did you see that? Did you see that Alec Baldwin is pregnant? His wife is pregnant with his 7th child yesterday.
Seriously? Seventh
child. Yes, and the joke that was making its way through the ranks of the internet was, wow, Alec Baldwin really never does shoot blanks.
That's pretty good. Hey, leave hilaria out of your mouth. Leave hilaria.
Keep your jokes about Alec Baldwin out your mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. By the way, real quick, did you see what Chris Rock So Chris Rock did the Wilbur last night. Didn't have much to say.
I was at the Matt Light Foundation Fools for Comedy. And,
was that a good time?
Well, it was good. I said, Matt, can you show me how an offensive lineman blocks? Because obviously we can't do it here in New England anymore.
Oh, come on.
It was a great time.
What are you doing?
Got to see Teddy Teddy Bruschi was there. Got to say hi to him. Never met him before. Coppin, a lot of the Paxton, a lot of those old cronies that Matt Light likes to hang with. So
Coppin and Paxton, we'll get them on the show. Paxton will come on anytime, and Dan Coppin's the nicest dude. He's got a great podcast, by the way, the Past Our Prime show. Yeah, definitely a great show. Check that out if you guys get a chance.
And Nankovich was there as well.
Ninko, Ninko. Have you ever listened to his pod, Dan and Ninko, that he does with Dan O'Brien from Dan O'Brien Auto? It's really good. They have a lot of really good stories.
I know. I only listen to your pod, Fitzy. I'm very, very loyal when it comes to my pods.
You're the best. Now, if I only had a podcast. All right. So Chris Rock goes to the Wilbur last night, and this is somebody, like, they took your cell phones, apparently had to lock up your phones. But somebody had a burner in their pocket, left the voice memo function on, and they were able to get this.
How was your weekend? I don't have like a bunch of shit about what happened. Stuff you came to get at. I had like a whole show I wrote before. this weekend.
So basically that was it. Like he just went on rambled about it for another 20 seconds, then just went on with his hour-long show. Like that's it. And I kind of, I respect the fact that he's not going to fan the flames or add fuel to the fire after the slap heard around the world, now that we're in the Slap-termath. But also, like, if he ever is going to create anything funny, like, you could almost see the way he was smiling as he was kind of in semi-shock after Will Smith, that fucking...
Wait a minute, so was it...
hit him.
Was it staged? Because Greg Hill was asking,
no.
They were like, we need Fitzy on this. They're like, they were calling you. I don't know if you were listening this morning, but they were like, we need Fitzy to chime in on whether this was staged or not in the comedic world.
No, 100%. It was not. No. It was not. So Will Smith was asked to leave by the Oscar producers. He refused. Carried his own security entourage and detail with him wherever he goes. So he was going to put up a fuss and a fight. If he was forced to leave so the Academy backed down, which is great. Let's reward people for assaulting folks in public on national TV during an international broadcast. As a matter of fact, you know what we should do? Let's reward the man with the greatest moment of his professional career after he assaults another man and takes away his dignity, no matter how shitty or lame the G.I. Jane 2 joke was. If you didn't know she has alopecia, it's an ad hominem attack. Okay, it's a surface level roast joke made about someone's appearance. But all Will Smith had to do to effectively make that a memorable moment was go up there, put him in a headlock, or like fake the slap and then like give him a little rib action. Maybe even lean into his ear and be like, bro, she's got a thing about the hair. And then Chris Rock would be like, Jada, my bad. Listen, I'll do a lap after the show. I love you. I'll write a check to something. But instead, to lose his mind, slap the guy across the face, take his dignity, look like an absolute asshole, and show that you've got no control, and then come back and say that you're a vessel for love, you're trying to do God's work, and that you're heavily influenced by being a protector like you were in that movie. Will Smith, fuck all the way off. Get out of here with that. Get out. That pissed me off to no end.
So I'm not
Great
saying...
night for Twitter, but...
Yeah. Well, I had no interest ever in watching the Oscars, and I actually saw Twitter blow up, and I actually turned on the Oscars. So it got me to turn the Oscars on for about 15 minutes, and then I put on Billions.
Great point, by the way. Would Will Smith have pulled that, like, did you see the meme going around, Dakota? I'm sorry to interrupt, but, like, Pat Seeley's got a great point. Will Smith 100% would not have slapped a bigger guy. If The Rock was up there and made the same, do you think Will Smith would have stepped to Dwayne Johnson?
Hell no. Hell no.
Thank you.
So the only part that tells me that it could be staged, okay, is that Chris Rock was so cool in the whole thing, okay? He had no really reaction to someone that got up there and slapped him. Like, I couldn't... It was, and he did. There was that thing that he leaned in, like he's like, okay, come on up and hit me. Like, I'm getting ready for it. I'm going to brace myself because, I'm not an actor. There is a certain way that you are supposed to slap, right? On camera or whatever it is. And is leaning in, like preparing yourself for that visual. Does Chris Rock know? Chris Rock has been in movies. He's probably been hit before. Go look at these other movies and see if Chris Rock is in that position from that view. Because and when you say that, well, the Academy itself was telling him to leave, if they kept this between Will Smith and Chris Rock, the Academy's going to say that like it was real anyways and going to ask him to leave. So just because the Academy asked him to leave, it just means the Academy wasn't in on it. And the only way for that to be as legit in 99% in certainty is keep a small circle between Chris Rock and Will Smith.
I'm with Jimmy Jensen, who's watching live on YouTube. Jimmy Jensen, love your sandwich shop. I know it's actually not a sandwich shop. That's Jimmy John's. You can tell in Chris's shaky delivery afterwards that he was in shock. It was not staged. Yes, 1,000%. I think it was a combination of, wow, he was expecting him to come up and do, like I just said, little headlock, a little fake punch, rub his head, give him a noogie. Go ahead, do something where it's like, we all know I'm bigger and more famous, and I'm going to take advantage of you during the moment. But he has a chance to like upstage him. Don't don't take away his dignity. Don't do something like that. Don't make yourself look like a fool. Don't turn this into the Source Awards. Don't be a fucking dick about this. He had a chance to raise awareness to Jada's condition, prevent everybody from making jokes about Will Smith and Jada's marriage, since everyone knows it's more wide open, than anyone against the
here's the thing.
2011 Patriots. It was such a bad effing look. God, it makes me so mad.
Think about this for a second. He obviously has major issues going on with his wife, and everyone
knows he's fucked around on him.
Exactly. So to me, if he was in good graces with his wife and they weren't in this open marriage, I bet you Will Smith felt humiliated,
right,
because of what's happening, right, out there and knowing what's going on with Jada. Hold on a second.
Okay.
That at that point in time, if it was real, when it's his way of trying to get off all the, I guess, the hate and the made fun of his wife and how his wife treats him. It's a way to try to stand up that says, hey, we're in an open marriage and you guys can say everything about it, but I'm okay with it enough that I'm going to go up on stage and defend my wife. So to me, if he doesn't have issues off the court, let's say, use that terminology, I don't think he goes up there and slap him. But that's a result of him being humiliated in public and what his wife is doing.
I mean, if you can't take a joke, all I can say now is, like, I feel badly for other comedians at roasts, open mics, doing their thing, because I'd be afraid of retribution. Everyone is other people may now feel empowered, like, hey, Will Smith was able to do it, he got away with it. So if I don't like a joke, last thing I'm ever going to do, if I'm hosting a fundraiser or you're performing comedy, live comedy again, low be the grace of God, I'm actually able to get my kids to bed on time and do it, is do work about someone's appearance, because next thing you know, someone may feel empowered to walk up on stage, kick you in the nuts, slap you in the face. God, whatever. Anyway,
my phone's ringing again.
Oh, the lawn doctor. Any other sponsors to the program? We've already run well past time.
I know. Did we miss anything?
I'm having way too much fun. Real quick. Real quick. Red Sox win predictions, because next Thursday is opening day against the Yankees.
Yep.
Last year they won 92 games. Let's get you on the record, Dakota. Mr. Cash Bomb himself. Red Sox 2022 win total. I'll give you an over/under of 84.5.
So it's 85.5. I looked on draft.
Okay.
It's at 85.5. I looked on DraftKings. So I've made two previous bets. One Arizona football over 8.5. That one. I made one NBA over/under. I had the Charlotte Hornets over 38.5 wins. That just came in. They're at 40 now, and I'm seriously thinking of making a huge bet on the Red Sox over 85.5. And I've got to do it within the next few days. So for one, I got to get my behind up to New Hampshire, because I can't bet legally in Massachusetts. So I have to use the DraftKings app up there. You're in Connecticut. Can you log into my? You can log in,
or you can just give it to me and I'll do it through. Maybe we'll get FanDuel to throw some money. I just want to show you guys what the definition of pain is. I almost tweeted this out. I should have. I got porked so bad last night. For some reason, I just felt like betting some NBA. So, God, this sucks so bad.
Man, David's asking what is huge. David, so I made a $20,000 bet on Arizona. It was even money, 20 to make 20. And then Charlotte, I bet 9,600, I think, to make 9.
Nice.
So if I bet the Red Sox, it's either going to be 10 or 20,000 on that over. But I'll tweet it out if I actually do it. I'm going to do something on it. I just think it's too good to pass up.
I like Joe Soares, our old pal Joe Soares. Bring your own chicken wire for the stage. Like when
they used to have that. You guys used to have chicken wire.
Like in the Blues Brothers. Check this out. I'll put it up to the camera. I don't think I'm revealing any account information. Nope. Look at this. Ready? I don't know if you guys can see this. I went 8 for 9 in a 9-team money line parlay last night.
No.
And the team that fucking lost, the Minnesota Timberwolves, lost the game last night to the Toronto Raptors. They were they were a 5-point favorite. If Minnesota had just done their damn job, I would have hit a 9-team money line parlay last night. I bet small money. It would have, trust me, I would have been able to spend Dakota Steakhouse money. Damn it. 8 for 9 on the parlay. 8 for 9.
That's something. That's tough. That's why I don't. I like doing these futures seasonal stuff instead of betting individual games. It is fun. You get to root for them all the year long. So.
Great movie reference. Well, let's punch out on this. Mark Staples says it'll be just like Roadhouse. Dakota.
Never seen it. Nope, I've never seen Roadhouse.
Damn it! Do you what do you? I
thought we need to do
double deuce references. Pain don't hurt.
We need to do like that 2 minute. We got to do a segment on movies and just have the audience and have you throw out movies. They can't be tied to Def Leppard, because if they're tied to Def Leppard, I definitely, have not seen it. That's what we call a callback, Fitzy, in the comedic
to the
world.
First
right?
hour of the show. Hugo Andrade on Facebook says over 85 is a great bet on the Sox. Looks like Jesse Ebner.
Nate Ebner's
Israeli cousin.
Yeah.
I bet you a 6-pack of Israeli Gold Star beer. Wow. Want to take him up on that bet?
Well, I don't drink beer, but I could bet on your behalf since you drink beer. I like rum. So do they have any Israeli rum? I guess that's the big question. I don't think so, right? It's more rum. So it's more like Puerto Rico, like that's where the rum is, right? Santo Domingo. What do you got back there?
Since you are a rum drinker, I'll bring this for our first live show, or maybe we'll use this as something we can bet on this season.
Can we have
Chris Rose, who's like the Boston rum guy, or I think they call him Boston whiskey guy, sent me a bottle of this last year before the season. It's a 12-year-old barrel-aged Flor de Cana rum, the official rum of the New England Patriots.
Oh, wow. I need to try that. I'm not into,
You got to try this.
I am, but
into it. Look at it. I haven't broken the seal on that yet. We you know what I'll do? I'll save it for like when we do our first show together. We'll
yes. Let's do that. But here's the thing: between dark rum, any dark liqueur or clear, the dark is not good for you. Your organs don't process. I'm telling you, don't process dark liquor, whether it's dark rum versus clear rum. Yeah, whatever it is, go look it up. That's why I always drink like Bacardi Clear. I always I never drink the spicy dark rum.
No, why is that?
Listen, I don't know. We'll have a 5-minute segment next week on it. Okay,
on why rum is bad, why dark rum.
Yeah, it's something about the
I am related to Nate Ebner.
Oh, really? There you go.
Nate Ebner, co-owner of the rugby team of New England, first place rugby team, the New England Free Jacks, who I did some influencer work for, and I'll be attending a game. Why don't you come with me to a Free Jacks match in Quincy sometime soon?
Oh, is it at Memorial Stadium?
It is, yeah. The Free Jacks play there. They're there this Saturday, and then also 2 weeks from now they'll be their home games are a party. Food trucks, beer, chanting, singing, face painting, the whole nine.
So the only problem that I have
human sacrifice, cats.
The only problem I have of visiting Memorial Stadium in Quincy, when I played for North Quincy High, you know what my claim to fame was dropping a wide open touchdown pass against Waltham under the lights. It was our first night game, and all I remember is running 40 yards down the field, and I busted by the cornerback. I don't know what happened to him. Okay, I had that 4.7 speed, that clip that you played earlier, and all I remember is I looked up, and all I could see was the new lights that Memorial Field in Quincy had. It was our first game, and I thought I was at the back of the end zone. So I'm stopping, leaning like this to keep my 2 feet in bounds. I was on the goal line. I'm standing on the goal line trying to keep my 2 feet in bounds. The ball went off my hands. I dropped it. And from there on out, everybody from Waltham, I ended up going to Bridgewater State. And I remember being in an elevator.
Penitentiary?
No, the Bridgewater State College. And I'm in the elevator with and I ran a George Orta and from Waltham, who played against me that game, and we said, North Quincy versus Waltham. He goes, all I remember about is some kid dropped that pass wide open in the end zone, and we won the game. I'm like, yeah, that was me.
That's phenomenal. That is awesome. By the way, Nate Ebner, since he's a co-owner of the team, and I've done a little work for the Free Jacks, let's get him on the show too. I bet he would pop on, do a little plug for the Free 100%. Jacks. We could do a little swing juice party at a Free Jacks match sometime soon. Just
tell him Van Noy's here. I mean, this guy's just relentless on me looking like Van Noy, a poor man's Van Noy.
By the way, that's 1,010% exactly what we're going to call you from now on. The poor, ladies and gentlemen, the poor man's Van Noy. We get a baseball update. Trevor Story, boom sauce.
Love Story.
Dinger.
Trevor Story,
such a great move. All right, we got to punch out on this, Dakota, because we're well past time.
Yeah.
Your final 4 predictions. I have Duke over UNC. I have Kansas over Villanova. And then Monday night, Mike Krzyzewski, in his final game of his career, does not go out on top. The Kansas Jayhawks are your college men's basketball national champion.
So you like Kansas. I think Kansas is going to do it as well. Villanova, was it the guy in Villanova hurt he tore his Achilles, or he tore some tendon in his foot, right? I think it was the Villanova guy. So when you lose key players like that in your backcourt, you have no chance. So I think Kansas, to me, because North Carolina can't do it. And Duke, it would just not be right for Duke to win on Krzyzewski's final season.
Farewell.
So
he doesn't get the Peyton Manning style victory lap and championship on the way.
I'm gonna root for the Rock Chalk and Jayhawk.
Chalk Jayhawk. That's what's up.
Yeah.
And sadly, the news of Bruce Willis having aphasia and cognitive issues, forcing him to retire from movie acting. Some people are like, yeah, I thought he retired years ago. It's a damn shame. That's John McClane. That's the star of Die Hard, the greatest action movie
have
of all
seen
time.
Die Hard. I've seen them all.
I would end this program, let alone maybe end my life if you had. So I'll ask you this: our movie question. What is your favorite Bruce Willis movie not named Die Hard?
Not named Die Hard. I think it would have to be with Mila Jankovic. That movie.
Mila Jovovich, The Fifth Element.
Fifth Element. I think that's my favorite Bruce Willis non-Die Hard movie.
You guys in the comment section, let us know your favorite Bruce Willis movie. Die Hard 2, by the way. Don't sleep on Die Hard 2. Vastly underrated action flick.
Yeah, for some reason, The Fifth Element, maybe it's her in bandages that I'm more glued to. Maybe it's more about her than anything else, right? But she was smoking in those. Like, where as a kid? Like, this is 20 years ago, The Fifth Element, right? So,
Yeah.
Sixth Sense?
He was in the M. Night Shyamalan movie. Glass, that was excellent. Obviously, a lot of love for The Sixth Sense. Brett Mercier, good to see you, buddy. Thanks for watching on YouTube Live. He goes with a classic Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead.
But see, Pulp Fiction had so many other cast
members. Looper, phenomenal movie made by Ryan Johnson with Joseph Gordon. Great sci-fi movie. Highly recommended.
So can I say I've never seen Looper and not get? You've never seen Looper? Can I do that?
That's okay.
Okay.
So Stephen Tower, he wins today. This is my favorite Bruce Willis movie, not named Die Hard, The Last Boy Scout.
Oh, never seen it. No.
Oh my God! What have you done? Somehow you're rich and yet you've never seen or heard anything fun in this life.
Maybe that because I like to work. Maybe that I don't have the time to watch these. Right.
Thank you very much, Les. Last Boy Scout it is. Mark Staples with my second favorite Bruce Willis movie, not named Die Hard, Blind Date. Did you ever see Blind? Hilarious with Kim Basinger.
I've never seen Blind Date. No, I did watch. Was it Moonlighting? Was that the show he was on way back in the day? The sitcom Moonlighting, right? I did see Moonlighting.
Yes, Moonlighting was a terrific show.
Had 12 Monkeys, Hudson Hawk.
They couldn't believe they gave him so much money to star in Die Hard after he was only the star of a successful show on ABC. Got $6 million to do Die Hard. Unbreakable.
Was he in a movie? Was he in Ransom? Not Ransom, but
that was Mel Gibson. Give me back my son. That was Mel Gibson.
Was he in another movie though that was kind of like that, where not Panic Room, but there was a movie that was in a house, and his kids were there, and they had to protect the house. I thought that was a Bruce Willis movie. Mm-hmm. I forget the name of it. It had something to do with maybe it wasn't Bruce Willis.
I don't remember. I'm not sure. It wasn't Panic Room, but. All right, he was in some sort of kidnapping movie, says Amstel 54.
Yeah.
All the contributions today, yes.
Yeah, I think there was a kidnapping movie I think he was in.
Oh, it was called Jimmy Jensen.
Hostage. Yeah, Hostage.
There you go, Jimmy Jensen. Good job, buddy.
Yeah, I have seen
Brett Mercer, Jason Dodge. Great job, you guys. All right, listen, we can't keep everyone hostage any longer. I can't hold you tight. Yeah. I got to wrap. I got to pick up some kids. Got to get on with the day as well. Awesome time on the drop today. Once again, go to swingjuice.com, promo code Dakota40. Save yourself 40% on some of their quality golf and baseball merchandise. Get you a Baseball Isn't Boring t-shirt and support the movement. We'll be back next week. Time TBD. Next week, we're not going to maybe be on our usual Thursday time. I might have to be in the Bronx covering the Red Sox-Yankees opener for WEEI.
Okay.
If not, if it's rained out, we'll be back. Otherwise, we'll let you guys know. Thank you guys so much for the quality comments, the contributions, the bitch slaps, and all the Van Noy comments. You can follow him at Dakota Happis. I'm
at Dakota Van Noy. That's going to be my name.
He's going to change it. He's at Discount Van Noy. I'm Shut Up and Watch Looper. I'll be on tomorrow with Merloni and Fourier, 2 to 6 on WEI. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy your sports. Drink up. God bless. Go Pats. And it has been a pleasure here on the Sports Drive.